And now a solemn announcement. The Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Margaret Thatcher, has resigned. A nation mourns.
Era ending November the 23rd. A look back at the last 11 and a half years with Bill Wallace, David Tate, Sally Grace and John Baddeley.
That is the Tory party you can hear now in full swing. Incredible scenes of jubilation and dancing in the street. I have with me Sir Geoffrey Howe, sometime dead sheep of the Conservatives, and Mr. Michael Heseltine, otherwise known as the Rubber Chicken. Gentlemen, what is your reaction to this week's momentous events? Are you at all regretful?
Celebrities and showbiz personalities say goodbye, Mrs. Thatcher, and thanks for 11 years at the top.
Hi, it's me, ex-Coronation Street star Chris Quintin. Goodbye, Mrs. Thatcher, and thanks for 11 years at the top.
Hello, little Ernie Wise here. You know, Mrs. Thatcher, it's always sad saying goodbye to someone you've known and loved for so long, but here's hoping your retirement is full of sunshine, love and laughter.
Hi, Francis Rossi, lead vocals from Status Quo. We've been top of the pops for 25 years now, and you've been top of the polls for just under half as long. Thanks. And you know what? Keep on rocking all over the world. I'm here at Westminster to talk to members of the No Turning Back group who are now approaching. But I'm afraid they've just turned back.
Sorry, we're off to the party. Are you coming?
All right.
Do join us. It's going to be
Romancing, I'm giving it all tonight.
Well, John, I take it you have decided to stand in the next round? Yes, dear, I know your teeth are hurting, but are you standing? I've worked it all out. The house next door is a bit bigger than here at number 11. It's hell to clean, mind, but I think I know a local lady who'll be glad of the work. Come on, 1 gargle for yes, 2 gargles for no. By the way, dear, Maggie's pulled out. Have you heard?
Really? Well, do you know, I think I will be standing.
Who here, Mugger? It's your fave Gaza speaking. My record, Fog on the Tyne, is out now. An ideal Christmas gift. And I'm available for supermarket openings, chat shows and bar mitzvahs. Oh, and... cheerio, Maggie.
Hiya, Sue Pollard. Well, Mrs. T, I always agreed Britain had surrendered enough sovereignty to the EC and should draw a firm line against backdoor federalism. So, never mind, eh? Bye-de-bye.
Well, I always hated her. I'm glad she's gone. I detested both her style of leadership and her policies. And I certainly can't be accused of being treacherous, hypocritical, or being a fair-weather friend in any way at all. I always came out and spoke my mind about her.
Well, thank you, Carol Thatcher. And now, over to northern Alaska, where the leader of the Inuit tribe of Eskimos has just learned the news of the Prime Minister's resignation. President Findus what has been the reaction of your people to this turn of events?
The son has got his hat on and he's coming out today.
Here we are, Daddy. Are you Prime Minister yet?
Speak properly to your father.
Sorry, Daddy. Are you Prime Minister, Daddy?
Not yet, children. There's your mother to consult. I mean, darling, are you sure you can cope with being a PM spouse?
Of course, Doggy. I've joined the golf club, written a column for Private Eye, and... Oh,
she's on the cheeky, Daddy.
So, let's just recap on those rules. To win the second ballot, one candidate has to win a straight majority of 187. If that is not achieved, the two leading candidates will move into the third ballot for a head-to-head contest. Kenneth Baker, what happens if, by chance, the third ballot is a draw?
Well, Brian, first of all, we go into extra time, and then, of course, it's penalties. Come on, one of you, try me. Oh, oops, it slipped. Butterfingers.
You wanted to see me, Prime Minister?
I'm afraid I didn't catch that. Would you mind coming in again?
You wanted to see me, Prime Minister?
Music to my ears, again.
You wanted to see me, Prime Minister?
I could go on listening to this all day.
Well, let's leave the mood of the country there for a more in-depth look at the personalities involved in the race for number 10.
From an early age, Mr. Heseltine had revealed his political intentions. At Oxford, he wrote on an envelope, 26 millionaire, 30 MP, 55 Prime Minister, 57 Bridge Street Leeds LS1 4DZ. Yes, even at the age of 20, Mr. Heseltine was revealing his ambition to be a Northern Ring Road. Instead, he followed a traditional route to power by becoming Broad Street Oxford and adopting his famous catchphrase, now he feels that the time is right to pursue his ambitions. Since Geoffrey Howe's resignation, Heseltine has been wandering round the Houses of Parliament with several houses on his head and smothered in tarmac. However, detractors argue that to be a fully fledged street, he needs to have a church and maybe a Royal Mail sorting office.
I'm sorry, Radio 4 didn't mean to play that tape. I must point out that Michael Heseltine hasn't declared his intention to be a major trunk road. We just prepared that tape, on the off chance. He is, in fact, intending to stand in the second ballot. I am sorry about that. Push that button.
Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore.
Right, 10 minutes until the close of nominations. Any more challengers?
Yes.
Ah, good. More the merrier. What's your name?
Mrs. Betcher.
Mrs. Thatcher. Right, hold on. Mitch, you're not on my list. I say that's just a black wig and a Groucho Marx mask you're wearing. Who are you really?
Sorry. Yes, I'm Douglas Hurd.
But he's already standing.
Michael Heseltine, really? I mean...
Sir Anthony Meyer?
Look, it's no good, Margaret. You've had your chance now. Just buzz off, will you? Anyone for Champers, chaps?
Yes, see, there we are.
Come on now, come on, cheer up, everybody. It's not the end of the world. Oh, bugger. I suppose it is, really.
I'm sorry, we must leave that item. And before we end our political coverage, let's have a word with Peter Shovel, MP for Hampstead East.
Before we go any further, can I just say hello to a few people?
I've got to interrupt you there. We're going to have to go over live to Barcelona, where James Tavish has tracked someone down with a Spanish guitar. Sorry, we're going to have to interrupt there to hand you over to Sarah Dawson at the House of Commons. Sarah, what's going on at the minute?
Well, incredible...
Sorry, Sarah, I'm going to have to interrupt you there to bring you more details of that Spanish guitar playing. Sorry, I'm afraid I'm going to have to interrupt you there. Right, carry on again. I'm going to have to interrupt you there to bring you something really, honestly, completely different.
Hello, and welcome to the trials of life. The Tyrannosaurus Rex. But where did it go? Today, I can reveal that the so-called Thunder Lizard has spent the last 12 million years undiscovered here in a men's hostel in Hemel Hempstead. Now, Inspector Naylor of the Hemel Hempstead Police.
Yes.
why has this creature evaded discovery for so long?
Oh, come along, David. The search was scaled down several million years ago, and besides, Hemel Hempstead is a very big place.
And a subsequent search of other rooms in the hostel has revealed an aged Adolf Hitler in the lounge, a flock of dodos in the attic, and this bedroom here, the lost continent of Atlantis.
My men can't be expected to be everywhere at once.
And what might be in this room, I wonder?
Can I just say that I'm in no way missing and have not disappeared?
Let's join the others, shall we, Inspector?
I think I'd rather stay and look after her, actually.
Nikolai Ceausescu. You know, I always admired your government, though it was a little right-wing. I'm all too well aware of how sticky things can get when a leader becomes unpopular. But you'd have my wholehearted support if I wasn't bad.
Good evening. I'm Tony Brennan, world champion tiddlywinks player. I can think of no relevant metaphor from my sport for the current political situation. Still, I do sympathise. Carl. And so long, Marge. Sorry, I'm really sorry. She just keeps popping up. Okay, international news.
You wanted to see me, General?
Lieutenant Pulver. What in God's name is this I hear about Operation Imminent Thunder? I've had the chiefs of staff breathing down my neck all goddamn day.
Well, you see, sir, there was a spot of rain that night, so unfortunately we had to call it off.
Call it off? God damn it! What about the other operation?
Well, Operation Ridge of High Pressure over Babylon was a rip-roaring success, sir.
Is that so?
Yeah, according to the weather report, the sun's been shining there all day.
Yeah! Congratulations, Lieutenant Pulver. I'll call the president right now and tell him the good news.
Right,
Hang on
sir.
there. What about Operation Put Your Hat On before coming to see the General?
Damn, I knew there was something, sir.
Mr. President, General Cream here. I just called to say Operation Shoot Lieutenant Pulver for not wearing his hat when coming to me. The General has been an overwhelming success, sir. Looks like our troubles here in the Gulf will be over very, very quick. What's that? My God! She has what? Hey, men! Break out the beer and sarsaparilla! It's party time!
Yes, sir!
Sorry to interrupt the celebrations, Your Majesty, but there's a woman outside asking to see you.
A woman? What woman?
She didn't give her name, ma'am, but she's clinging to the railings at the front of the palace shouting, "For God's sake, let me in for our weekly chat."
Oh, Bob. Sorry. Ha. There's always one party pooper, isn't there, with us?
Ma'am.
Why hasn't she come to the tradesman's door? Oh, well, fling open the window and hand one a megaphone, will you?
Very good, ma'am.
Oi! What do you want, you old bat?
Your Majesty, I've come for our regular weekly get-together. Aren't you going to let me in?
Our weekly get-together. How one used to enjoy it. Just two girls gnashing on about whatever popped into their silly little heads. So, Mags, old flute, what kind of a week have you had? Because between you and me, mine's been absolutely bloody wonderful. Now then, where was one? Ah, yes, one's Christmas speech. Ding dong, the witch is dead, the wicked witch. Do you like it? And how does one spell Grooser? Feel it.
Sorry. Okay. Men in grey suits, stand at ease. Easy. Right. Okay, chaps. Splendid work this week in covert operation. Sort of darkish jacket, but double-breasted will do. You went in there, threw up the loyalty smoke screen, surrounded the besieged, and took her out with some deft point-blank hard facts and a nice 8-day brass carriage clock. Anyway, I've had a call from Military High Command, who was so impressed by our mix of gentle advice and somber togs, they want us to go into action abroad. this is a big one, boys. Tonight, at 12 p.m., we parachute into Iraq and Saddam Hussein's HQ. Attention for Operation Baghdad Blazer. Present arms and cuffs and lapels and...
There you are, see? We promised. No more of,
I'm sorry, we must cut away there to join Edwina Curry and Cecil Parkinson for a quick word.
Keith, Cheggers Chegwin here. 11 years ago, I was starting out in swap shop, and Cheggers plays pop, and you were a new and shy Prime Minister. Now, I host my own talent show on Sky TV. I couldn't have done it without you. Fab. Bye.
Hello, possums. Dame Edna says, Mags, you set the pace and style for the fashion world and were a great personal influence on my own frocks. You're sure to stand out and look ravishing as ever on the back benches. And don't be grumpy, darling. Even megastars can't stay on top forever. Myself excluded, of course. Good on you, little Margaret Hilda.
On this, my final debate as Prime Minister, in answer to this motion of no confidence, I'd like to say a few things that I have wanted but have been unable to say in the past 11 years. To the leader of the opposition, can I just say, piss off, you taffy, get? Michael Heseltine. More like Michael, he's got a tiny willy, or so I've heard. Also, there has never been an opportunity for me to say sarcoptic mange mite in the House, which has for some time been my favorite crop parasite. Finally, to the whole House, botties, pants, and... My name's Margaret Thatcher. Thank you, and good night.
8:15. Off to work then, dear. Here's your coat.
Thank you, Dennis.
And your scarf. And your gloves.
Thank you, Dennis.
Nothing wrong, is there, old girl?
No, Dennis.
It's just that some of the chaps down at the Noose and Gibbet were wittering on about some sort of ballad thingy. What's that all about, then?
No idea, Dennis.
Oh, well. Off you go, then. Oh, one other thing.
Yes, Dennis?
Who's the loaf of bread for?
No one, Dennis. Goodbye.
Ah.
Commons, Prime Minister?
No, Fairbairn. The park. St. James's Park.
Yeah. Hello, doll. Anyone sitting here?
What? Oh, no.
Oh, it's better. Bit brass monkeys. Here, drop a special brew.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. What are you doing then, eh? Time to kill?
You could say that.
Yeah, me too. Lost me job I did. What about yourself then, eh?
Just 11 or so hours to go.
You what?
Before I can go home. You see, if I just come here every day until late at night, maybe Dennis will never need to know.
Oh, come on, darling, don't cry. Come on. Here, have another sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's more like it. It's not all bad, is it?
No.
At least that old cow statue's gone, eh?
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about it. Here we are. Number 10. What's that look?
What? Well, I don't know. It looks like a removal van. Just a removal van, doll.
Oh, God, I must be puzzled.
What's that then?
I can see 3 of the buckets. Wait a minute. They're different. Mike's Moves of Henley.
Yeah?
Doug's Deliveries. and major removal.
Nice place you got here, by the way.
Dennis! Come on. The coast is clear.
Oh, right.
He's gone to bed. I wonder if he's left any of the old mother's ruin.
God, Mags, that was wonderful. Nothing like a bit of erotic bliss to take your mind off politics, eh? How about another dash, dear?
Oh, well, if you must, Dennis, but be quick. I've got to be up early tomorrow morning.
Righty-ho. Dear?
Yes?
Have you had your hair done?
No, I'm Michael Heseltine.
Are you?
Yes.
God. Do you mean to say I've just indulged in a prolonged bout of connubial bliss with the honourable member for Henley?
Mm-hmm. And what a member.
Well, I always preferred blondes. By the way, what are you doing here?
Just thought I'd pop in to choose some new bedroom curtains. The rest's a bit of a blur.
Excuse me, has anyone seen the water bottle?
Good heavens, that you, Major? Well, I never. I've gone to bed with a stalking horse.
Sorry to butt in, everything, but has anyone seen my bed socks?
Good God, Herd.
Sorry if I'm premature or anything, but we don't want to prolong this election, do we?
Chance would be a fine thing.
Look, stop squabbling, you lot. Now the boss is off the scene. Let's party, what? Anyone for a second round? And by the way, didn't I see Norman down there earlier?
Yes, I think he reconsidered his position, actually, Dennis.
Oh, shame. Still.
And now here is next week's news, the weekend. The BBC launches its annual Viewers in Need of a Break from Terry Wogan appeal.
Monday, at the wedding of Sebastian Coe, Steve Ovett makes it to the altar first.
Tuesday, after a newborn baby is abandoned at an Asda supermarket, staff find it a pram with unstable wheels which won't move in a straight line.
Wednesday, the new bride of ventriloquist Keith Harris reveals that she nearly walked out on their honeymoon night when she found her husband wouldn't do anything without drinking a glass of water at the same time.
Thursday, reports that young offenders are being forced to join the Scouts are confirmed when little old ladies are mugged across the road.
Friday, after new legislation makes it compulsory for adults to wear seatbelts in the backs of cars, casualty figures remain unaltered, but the birth rate falls by 30%. And that is the end of next week's news.
The party's over. It's time to call it a day. They've burst your pretty balloon.
Ding dong, hear his theme song. Big Ben saying goodnight. His watch keeping while you're sleeping. Big Ben saying goodnight.
Weekending featured Bill Wallace, David Tate, Sally Grace, and John Baddeley. The script was written by Peter Bainham, Richard Herring, Stuart Lee, Simon Bullivant, Colin Swash, Julian Dutton, Henry Naylor, Ole Stepaniuk, Michael Dines, Crispin Belcher, Jill Brown, Dave Single, Alan Moss, and Peter Roach. With news lines by Peter Hickey, Bob and Barbara Boulton, Nicholas Whitehead, P.J. Matthews, Max Alcock, Bridget Leithley, Alan Stafford, Dave Dixon, Sally Ann Tollerton, Nick R. Thomas, and John Pye. The producer was Sarah Smith.
And so we lay our sister in the earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
You fools! You won't get rid of me so easily. I'll be back.
The BBC would like to apologize for the last 25 entirely biased minutes. As more astute listeners will have realized, we did in fact play the wrong tape.